right, guys, welcome to Lake Shasta. Day one of the WON Bass Lake Shasta Open, I think it's called. I need to figure out what this thing's called. But we're out here at Lake Shasta for the first Pro-Am of the year. WON Bass event, looking forward to it. We got a chance to make the Bass Nation National Championship, chance to make the Bassmaster Classic as a result of that. Pretty awesome thing that WON Bass made possible for us West Coast anglers. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna try to catch some largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass. We got all three species in Lake Shasta. Typically, you're gonna be able to catch a bunch of fish. So we got a long walk back to the boat, and gonna get out there, go fishing, and see what happens. All right, guys, we are officially on Lake Shasta. It's time to go fishing. I don't really have much of a game plan. I know what arm of the lake I'm gonna go into. I got a lot of waypoints that I imported from Google Earth this morning, and this morning was a fiasco. I'll tell you guys about that a little bit later, but mapping issues. Last night was a mess. This morning was a mess. We're getting a late start out here, but better late than never. First day of practice out here. I'm just gonna go up one of the arms, check out some of the waypoints that I have, check out some of the different ways things look. I haven't been here in probably 6 years or so. So it's basically like fishing a whole new lake. I'm excited to get out here. I'm excited to get that first bite, and I'm excited to come out here and try to catch 3-pounders, because 3-pounders are the key fish that you need out here on Lake Shasta. We made it all the way to the end of one of the creek arms, and we're just gonna work our way down, and we'll spend the whole day in this one creek arm and just kind of see what we can find. I'm just gonna cover a lot of water with a crankbait at first, just to see if I can get something like that going. Because if I can cover a lot of water, you can put yourself in front of a lot more fish and hopefully have a chance at catching some bigger fish just by purely putting it in front of more fish individually. So we're gonna do that, see what happens. Throw spinnerbait, throw crankbait, throw a jerkbait, throw an Alabama rig at some point. But that's kind of the game plan for right now. Kind of see how things go, and then we will probably mix it up. If that doesn't work, probably won't give it a ton of time, but we'll give it enough to keep it honest. First fish of Lake Shasta on the shaky head. Dual mode shaky head with a 6 cents shaky worm. I don't know how big it is. These spots always fight really good, but out deep. It was out deep. Oh, it was a decent one. A little decent one. It's not bad. Little Lake Shasta guy right there, guys. Not bad for the first one, but we're gonna need bigger ones than that. Pretty cool though. First one at Lake Shasta, baby. So that last one, I didn't actually feel the bite. It was just like a pressure, and I lifted up, and then eventually you can kind of tell that you have a fish. And once I started reeling on it, you could tell that there was fish there and started fighting. But it was kind of interesting how that fish bit. I was expecting more of an actual bite, like a traditional thump or something like that, but that guy just kind of inhaled it down there on the bottom, and we got to the boat. So first one, not bad. Got some more work to do. I don't know if it's worth coming up this far in order to catch that guy, but we'll see as the practice goes on. Well, it's been a tough start to practice so far. I've been fishing for maybe a couple hours or so, and just that one fish so far. It's been a lot tougher than I expected, but we got plenty of time. I think I need to pick up the pace a little bit, bounce around a little bit more. I went to the end of one of the creeks, and just wasn't really happening. It doesn't set up the way I think I like to fish. I don't really understand it very much. real narrow, real steep, bluff wall type stuff, and it just wasn't quite feeling right. I feel like I need to be like on a more main lake area, but that's probably just because I don't understand it up here. There we go. There we go. That was cool. That was cool. I think it popped out of the brush and this guy jacked it. There's a lot of brush in the lake. Decent. Maybe a 2-pounder. Nah, that guy ain't a 2-pounder. Let's measure him, just be on the safe side to see what he is. Little. The whopping 167. Not what we're after, but that's Lake Shasta for you. Well, it seems like they definitely want something on the bottom. I've thrown crankbaits, spinnerbaits, jerkbaits, and they're not biting those. And I was out in the middle of this cut right here, just throwing it into about, I don't know, 20, 25 foot of water, and got that little guy to go. Still want to keep pushing and trying to find some bigger bites. I'm hoping I can just find a spot that's got some bigger quality fish on it than those average size fish that I have been catching so far today. I think the first one was actually like probably a 2-pounder, which is all right, but I think it's going to be like looking for, you know, whether it's clay or rock or a certain type of transition bank. I think there's going to be something like that. There's going to be some sort of a pattern that I'm going to be able to hopefully find that's going to kind of separate just the massive lake that we have here at Shasta. Well, we got another one in the boat for the day. Definitely not the size we're looking for. We really want at least 2-pounders, preferably 3-pounders. 15 pounds will go a long way in this tournament. Usually does here at Shasta. There's always a random chance that somebody absolutely destroys them, but it's not usually like that. It's usually, you know, good bags are around that 15-pound mark. Solid bags are 10 pounds. And then there's gonna be a lot of like 8-pound bags and stuff like that. So we're really looking for those 2- and 3-pounders. And if we can find some, you know, 5s or 4s, those go a long way. They are in here. They're just not as prevalent as these smaller fish that we've caught so far.
What do you think of doubling this thing up like that?
Yeah, that's why I looped it kind of how I did. So. Well, good Samaritan day today. Found someone that was broke down out in the middle of the lake, way up the arm too. So we're gonna be doing a slow little idle back in, towing him in, trying to at least get to cell service, and then he said he's gonna make some phone calls, so we'll see how long that takes. Well guys, we cannot find a reaction bite. I've been thinking about tying on an A-rig, but I think I'm just gonna do that tonight and I'll throw that around tomorrow. The weather is super funky. It got like hot for a little bit, and then now the sun's going down, so it's starting to get cold. It's weird up here, that's all I can say. But I love this lake. It's super fun. I've caught a few fish, nothing to write home about, but this day has just kind of been funky. I got on the water late. I had some mapping issues. Last night I was trying to download my Google Earth stuff that I had done some research and plotted a bunch of stuff on Google Earth, and I went to go download it and I couldn't. So I was up till midnight trying to figure it out, and I did. I was able to actually get them onto my graph without the Hummingbird PC program because I have a Mac and it's not compatible with Mac. So if that's something you guys are interested in learning about, let me know, because it is a unique way to do it. I am successful at it. I do have my waypoints on my graph, so that's something that I'm happy about. Unfortunately, a lot of those waypoints are way too deep right now. Some of them are down to 100 feet, 75 feet. I know there's fish down there. I don't know if those are the right fish. We might have to play around with it a little bit before practice is over. But we got probably an hour left to fish out here before we got to go in and get to dark. But yeah, guys, Lake Shasta, we're doing it. Carolina rig fish on a rock pile. Little one. Little one. Little fat guy though. Little fat guy. Well, we got one on the old Carolina rig. Dual molded boss hog on there. Thumped it pretty good. Out off this point right here. Nothing too special, but it's always fun to get bit. Real little guy this time. He's about the same as the last one. Same as the last one. Another one on the shaky head. Feels like a small one, but you never know. The head shakes feel a little bit small. Yeah. Yep, little one. They're fun though. These were getting bit out here. Well guys, you know I love to throw a Carolina rig, and honestly that seems to be like the most consistent thing. Whenever I just put it in my hand, throw it out deep and just bring it back, I get bit. I feel like it's more efficient than most of the things that I'm doing out here. I feel like it's a lot more efficient than the shaky head unless I'm able to get around an area and drop on their heads. But casting that shaky head and working it back just isn't very efficient. And I think that unless I can find a group of fish that's bigger, when it comes to the tournament, I think I'm just gonna have to, you know, jump spot to spot to spot to spot and try to put my bait in front of as many fish as possible in order to have the best chance at getting the quality fish.
Well, today was a lot of fun. My first fish came real close to the ramp on a Ned rig, just a 1/8 ounce Ned rig that Luna made me. And I had the 6 cents shindig on there. But I was fishing real shallow, I was getting some bites on a shaky head. And then I saw some fish down right like 25, 30, drugged that Ned rig down there, and that was probably my best fish, probably a little over 2 pounds. And then I ran way up in the Sacramento and did some trout fishing today. There's a lot of trout in there. I ended up catching a few small spotted bass, one small smallmouth up in there. And it felt like once I got out of the back of the creeks, I stopped catching fish. I'd get some short strikes, but it seemed like the bite was better for me anyway, kind of further back in the creeks. And caught some shaky head fish, caught some Ned rig fish. I ended up just switching to a heavy Ned rig, like a 3/8 ounce, because they'll short strike you a lot. And you'll get hit, and you'll try to jack them, and you miss them, and your worm's gone. So I just put a Ned rig on there, and ended up pinning a couple, and a couple on the free rig too. Just a little Kitech on a free rig. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna go up and, was it the McLeod?
Yeah.
The McLeod. One of us will probably go in the pit. One of us go to McLeod, and day 3 we'll leave day 3 open. I mean, if we don't get them and we got to go out in Main Lake, then day 3 I might end up fishing more Main Lake, because it seemed like that first better fish came right here. So if I can get better fish doing that than making a long run, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Hopefully I find them tomorrow. This is probably the most gourmet thing we've got for this week here. We've got some fried rice and some orange chicken.
Well, guys, long day today. Not even a long day out on the water. It was just a long day, period. Got up early to get out on the lake and ended up having some issues with my memory cards. I forgot last night that I had to download all my waypoints that I had done through Google Earth and put them onto the Hummingbirds. That's a whole fiasco, but I already told you guys today that I got it fixed. And then I tried to download the Lake Shasta map for the front graph, because I have to have maps on the console and on the head unit at the front. And Hummingbird used to allow you to download each individual lake, but apparently that changed in late 2022, and I haven't had to download a lake in a long time. So I ended up having to download the entire West Coast that I don't need. That was one of the benefits of having Hummingbird units in the past, is that you didn't have to worry about that. You didn't have to download tons of lakes that you're never going to go to. Nevertheless, had to for this one, and I come up to the computer, do it in my room. The Wi-Fi is so good, it was going to take 8 hours to download the Lake Master maps for the Western United States that would cover Shasta. So I ended up having to go and just use whatever basic map they had on there. I thought it was better than it was. It was like 20-foot contour lines, which doesn't tell you anything. So the front graph didn't give me everything that I wanted to out there today, and I use that a lot when I'm out fishing, because you can kind of see some points. You can see those contour lines. You can see where it steepens up, where it flattens out, and a lot of times I like to target different contours in order to target fish that I think that might be there. Looking forward to eating. I'm starving. It's 8:43 right now, so got up at I think 6 and was gone pretty much all day long. Just finished rigging up. You guys saw me doing that in that blur of a scene, but had to do a lot of rigging, because you just never know what you're going to expect on the first day of practice. You might think you know, but you never know what's going on at the lake until you get here. And for both of us, the reaction bite just didn't really seem to be there. Maybe the ball head or something like that, but that's not really reaction like crankbaits and spinnerbaits and stuff like that. They were really tight to the bottom so far. 20 foot, 30 foot, 40 foot. That's pretty much where I was getting bit, is down deep. So I had to change up a lot of things. I was hoping to kind of be able to throw jerkbait, throw spinnerbait, throw crankbait, but I just don't think that's going to be the deal. The weather is going to be changing come tournament day, so you never know. We might have to adjust, and maybe they'll come up shallow to feed because of that weather. Well, I'm exhausted, so I'm going to see you guys in the morning. Time to eat some orange chicken fried rice, and we're getting back out there. Lake Shasta, day 2, tomorrow. See ya!